And I want to start this with this update. You know who is still at large?
He is.
Yes, he is.
He is.
Yes.
He hasn't been arrested.
No.
Like he predicted.
Well, you know, you kind of have to weigh it with all the other stuff he said. And you figure, well, you know, you said you won the election, you didn't win.
Good point.
You said they're coming to arrest you. They didn't arrest you.
I said that to Joy, but why do we start believing him now?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy.
He manipulated everybody. We all rose to the occasion. The papers, everybody just went there.
So many people were excited.
He's a liar.
Yeah.
He's a liar.
Are you shocked?
No, it annoys me every time.
I know.
And yes, I introduced my son to some drag queens today, so Tennessee, arrest me. This is called Better Than We Found It.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about the cackling hens on The View, okay? Yes, I know, another cackling hens video, but I got to tell you guys, it's quite entertaining, right? It's quite entertaining. The meltdown after meltdown after meltdown that happens on that show in response to the GOP, okay? You know, this morning they were very disappointed that Trump was not arrested because, you know, everybody was expecting Trump to be arrested. But unfortunately for them, they won't be able to get the masturbation material that they need and desire so much, okay? Because nothing would excite the cackling hens more than seeing Trump perk walked out of Mar-a-Lago and extradited to New York and in jail with his mugshot, okay? They would love to see it. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they're going to see it. It looks like they're not even going to see him be indicted, as the New York Times is reporting, as of the making of this video, that is, that the grand jury is not even going to meet today on Wednesday, despite reports that he would be indicted today and then arrested next week. Again, I'm just saying, to me, the more this kind of goes on, the more this seems like a psyop, right? It's a psyop. It's an attempt to try to get Trump supporters to act violently, and it's not working, right? It's not working. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'll actually indict him. Maybe they'll arrest him at some point. But I'm just saying, man, I'll believe it when I see it, okay? I'll believe it when I see it. But again, I could be wrong. However, until then, they have other things they're melting down about what the GOP is doing. And one of the woke hills that these cackling hens and the Democrats and the progressives, basically the whole left, wants to die on is this hill of having kids exposed to drag shows and also allowing them to, you know, physically or chemically castrate themselves, okay? And The View had a whole meltdown with Billy Porter, who's an LGBTQ actor. They had a whole meltdown over Ron DeSantis and the GOP banning drag shows for kids and punishing businesses that host drag shows for kids. Again, they had an absolute meltdown over this, with Billy Porter going as far as to say that we're in a civil war. We're in a civil war. They're calling for civil war over this. Take a look.
When you were here in July of 2022,
yes,
we talked about how Florida Governor DeSantis had just filed a complaint against a bar called the R House that holds drag shows, okay? 8 months later, things have only escalated. As we talk about it, you know, it's constant aggravation with this. What do you make of the fact that we're still talking about this and that it's happening in other states, too, not just Florida?
Yeah,
there's this war against trans people, which
and
is
LGBTQ plus people and people who are othered
and cabaret people.
And cabaret people. It's a circle of life.
Yeah.
You know,
Why are they doing it?
For power.
Yeah.
Everything is about power, and you could always trace it back to the money. You say that all the time.
Yeah.
You know, it's follow the money, follow the power, power at any cost. It's very hypocritical. You know, the leading cause of death in children are guns.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're guns.
Yeah.
I know it's the morning and I'm not supposed to be screaming, but they're guns.
Yeah.
Not drag queens.
Not drag queens.
No.
Leave us alone.
Yes.
You know, and it's a distraction. It's a distraction on purpose. We don't know what to pay. We don't know what to pay attention to. You know, our justice system is convoluted. It's hard to understand on purpose. Let's be clear about that.
Yeah.
It's on purpose. You know, it was like when we were talking about Roe v. Wade, that the word codified came up. I was like, what is that? And y'all didn't do it for 50 years?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah.
You know, subpoenas. If any one of us is subpoenaed, and we don't go, we end up in jail,
You
right?
get a little perp walk. You get a little
What
perp
are
walk.
we talking about, and what are we doing? And everybody's so scared because, oh, if we do that, then we might have a civil war. We're already in a civil war, y'all. It's a civil war of the mind. They're messing with our minds. We're already in it.
Yeah, so he says that we're in a civil war. Now, I don't think he's necessarily off, okay, entirely, because, I mean, we are in a civil war over the minds of our children, okay? The left wants to poison the minds of kids with sexual perversion, right, and gender theory and racial indoctrination, while the right just simply wants kids to learn the basics of, you know, reading, writing, math, whatever, okay? They just want to go to school without being indoctrinated, okay? That's it. That's what the right wants, right? The left, again, wants to indoctrinate children. So he is right. We are in a civil war over the minds of children. He's absolutely right, okay? And the left seems to want to die on this hill. They want to die on this hill of indoctrinating children. Again, a position that I really don't feel like they're in the majority on. They're not in the majority on this issue. They're just not. Okay, I don't care what the mainstream liberal media says, because the way the mainstream liberal media phrases their questions about this to the American people, they say something like, are you for or against the GOP laws that are targeting LGBTQ rights, right? They will say something like that, okay? They will frame the question in a way where people don't really understand exactly what's being asked, okay? They don't really understand exactly what they mean by the rights of LGBTQ people, because, again, if you reframe that question, you ask people, you said, are you okay with porn being available in school for children? I guarantee you, most of America, I would say probably at least 70, 80, I hope it will be that high, 70, 80% of people would say, no, of course not. Now, obviously, we have a significant population of lunatics in this country who are probably totally fine with that. So, again, that's why I said 70, 80. In a sane society, we would be, what, at least 98 to 99%, okay? Basically, everybody would say, yeah, that's wrong. Okay, if you frame the question as, do you agree with teachers being able to talk to kids about sex, okay, and gender in school, I'm pretty sure a majority of American people wouldn't agree with that, right? If you frame the question of, should children be allowed at male strip shows, or even if you use the word drag queen, right, I'm pretty sure most people are going to say, nah, that's probably not something that's okay, okay? But again, they framed this as, well, this is about LGBTQ rights. And I'm like, this is not about LGBTQ rights, okay? There's no right that LGBTQ people don't have in this country. They can't name one. They can't name one, right? They keep talking about this is infringing on LGBTQ rights, but they won't tell you which ones. Because kids going to drag shows, being allowed to, you know, go to drag shows is not an LGBTQ right. Okay, teachers indoctrinating kids in school with sexual ideology is not an LGBTQ right. Kids being able to physically or chemically castrate themselves is not an LGBTQ right. None of these things are right, okay? What they're asking for is special privileges. You want special privileges for you to be able to do things that are just unacceptable, right? We cannot accept this agenda that's been pushed on children. So, you know, for the left, this is the wrong hill to die on. For the right, this is the right hill to die on, okay? Because this is just not right. It is immoral, okay, what is happening. There's nothing wrong with having kids wait until they're 18 years old and then, hey, you know, if they want to go and chemically, physically castrate themselves, fine. I don't care. Have at it, right? If they want to sleep with whoever they want to sleep with, go to whatever parties they want to go to, see whatever drag queen shows they want to go to. I don't care. I don't give a damn, okay? But while they're children, they must be protected. And these people on the left keep using this same lazy, tired, old argument about guns. Well, guns are the #1 cause of death in children. Right? As that's some type of gotcha. Well, you're supposed to be for banning guns too, right? Well, let me just poke some holes in your logic real quick, okay? You know, before guns recently became the #1 cause of death in children, you know what it was before that? Car accidents. So by your logic, right? Because you want to ban guns, okay? You're trying to protect children so much, right? You want to ban guns to protect children. Should we ban cars? right? Should we ban cars? Because they're the next leading cause. So we're going to ban the first leading cause. Obviously, logically, you're for the second leading cause too, right? Again, ask them that, right? See what they say. The reality is the reason why you wouldn't ban cars is because it's not about the car, just like it's not about the gun. It's about the person that has the gun, right? It's about the person that's driving the car. We have laws on the books to punish people who irresponsibly drive cars and kill people, right? We have laws on the books to punish people who are irresponsible with guns and end up killing people. If you really care about the children so much when it comes to gun violence, then punish the criminals, right? Punish the criminals. Lock up the criminals. You'll have less gun violence, right? You'll have less kids being murdered in the street. But you don't give a damn about those kids that are getting murdered in the street every single day, okay? Because they happen in, you know, so-called neighborhoods of color, right? They happen in these inner liberal cities, and y'all don't give a damn about that. You only bring up kids being victims of gun violence, okay? And it's not the whole mass shooting thing that happens in school. That's not what's killing most of the kids. That's a very, very, very small minority. That's what they bring up. That's what they highlight the most. But the actual majority of the gun violence that are happening to children are happening in these Democrat cities. And they ain't got nothing to say about it. But you want to keep bringing it up like it's a gotcha when it comes to this conversation about kids being exposed to drag queens and being able to physically and chemically castrate themselves. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Why are you not concerned about the kids being killed in these inner liberal cities? You're not concerned about that. You don't care about that. You only care as a counter argument to try to defend the indefensible, right? So again, you know, these people, if they want to die on this hill, fine, right? I just don't think that people are going to get on board with this. And the more this issue becomes more mainstream, the more you're going to get people that's going to say, you know what, the left is going too far, right? These people are out of their minds, okay? What they're trying to do is just, it's too far. You're messing with people's children. Okay, you're trying to brainwash them into your worldview. People are not going to be okay with that. So, hey, you know, he says it's a civil war, right? If it's a civil war of the minds of these children, yes, he's absolutely right. Now, in regards to the other type of civil war, I don't know why the left keeps talking so tough, right? Because they're the side that don't like guns. They don't like being in shape, right? They don't really want to fight. They don't want to do any of that stuff, okay? They think the military is going to fight their battle for them, but I think they got another surprise coming, right? I don't think that the military is going to be 100% on their side in the case of a civil war, okay? So who knows? You know, if it's between half the military to them, half the military to us, the side that likes the guns, that's trained with the guns, you know, versus the side that's not, right? That's also out of shape, okay? They don't know about guerrilla warfare. You know, they don't know how to navigate the terrain outside of, you know, the big cities. Yeah, I don't think it's going to end up the way that these people think it's going to end up. I'm just saying. I don't know why they keep using this language, right? Like, they really want that type of smoke, because I don't think they do. They really don't. I don't think they really understand exactly what they're saying when they keep using this hyperbolic language. So I would suggest that they chill out with it, because again, I don't think it's going to go the way they think it's going to go. But hey, who knows? Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.